and then I'm going to share this to another platform real quick. And we're back, and we're going to get started here. You're watching Days with Casper. My name's Casper Jones. I handcraft skateboards for Life Skateboards. You can get one of your own at lifeskateboard.com. Ooh. We just released the 13.2 and 14 inch decks. You go over to the Life Instagram, you can see those. I'm going to be pressing some more for that and loading up the 9-inch standard press, then shaping one customer board, shaping my own board, and applying my graphic. Feel free to ask any questions. I'm going to start off with this 7-ply monster board. Hey Dylan, thanks for tuning in. So these are extremely wide. These veneer are 15 inches. The boards we're getting out of them are about 14.2. We make every size all the way down to, your youth sizes. But when Slappy came out with a 13-inch truck, we had to make a board that kind of made it look normal. Pretty soon here I'll have an edit on those gigantic skateboards. But right now, there are some clips out there floating around of it. We took one of the boards up to Muncie, and the locals ripped it. It's honestly really fun to skate. Casper's keeper on there is a moderator. Everybody listen to her. Thanks for hopping on here. It's been a minute since I've been back on lives here. I've just been really busy. And one of those things I've been busy with, if you're not familiar, I post over on Instagram as well. I'm doing a giveaway right now for tickets to the Aquabats, Coffin Cats, and Mike V and the Rats concert at Old National Center on August 5th. That's tickets for the Bats, Cats, and Rats tour. It's going to be fun. Just go over to Stranger Casper on Instagram to enter. You just got to go in the comments, tag your friend that you're going to bring, and like the post. And then on Friday morning, I'm going to draw the winners. Once again, that's over at Stranger Casper on Instagram. That's going to be fun. There's going to be 2 winners. Each winner gets 2 general admission tickets. One winner gets a meet and greet access pass, and the other winner gets a merch box. The meet and greet access pass is going to come with a life board, so that Mike V has a board for you to sign. Mike V will be at the meet and greet. I will also be at the meet and greet, meeting Mike V with you. So head over to Stranger Casper on Instagram to enter that contest, and then hop back here. Don't just leave. But hopefully, I'm excited to do that giveaway on Friday. We're really happy that Live Nation and Old National Center chose to work with me. If you have a hard time finding my Instagram, you can hop over to Mike V's Instagram or Aquabat's Instagram or the Mike V and the Rats Instagram. It got posted from those as well. Fun little giveaway video. It's actually in the shop here, which is pretty cool. Alright, so here is our first 7-ply. I'm going to turn the camera around while I tape up the ends of this and kind of explain what I'm doing. And then on the next one, I'll explain plies on the standard board. But alright, so where did my tape go? I'm sure I got some in here. Any new tricks learned recently? Yes. Dylan just asked if I've learned any new tricks. Landed a whirlybird, because Bam wanted me to land one. It's technically a crail grab 360 shove it, but it looks like a shove it, tail grab, shove it. Those are really fun and really difficult. I learned how to 360 out of a front rock. That was pretty fun. which turned my 5:40 lunch break into a 7:20 lunch break. I like that. And working on getting my switch heels down pretty well. So I'm taping up the ends here so they don't slide around inside the press. This one's a 7. I'm going to mark that just so I know when I pull it out of the press in a day. Alright, and back to the next one and answering questions. If you guys don't follow Dylan, and if you're watching after the live, that is XC, XD, XK. I will never remember that, Dylan. I'm sorry, but I say that and I'm going to slowly memorize it. But go subscribe to him. The kid, he documents the entire scene, documents all these events, documents street sessions. And his editing is just amazing. I really appreciate it. You can tell how much work was put into it, how much care was put into it. Whether it's just the vibe of the filming or the way that every single beat lines up with the trick. It's really cool. I really love seeing some not only great filmers but really good editors coming out of the scene. And Dylan is one of them. Understandable, Dylan. It's a good time to take a break if you're in the Midwest right now. It is hot as shit. We got corn sweat out here. Makes everything humid. It sucks. What's up, Hunter? Thanks for tuning in. I'm throwing this 7-ply. Ooh. Throwing this 6-ply into the press, and then in the next on the next one, I will explain plies and whatnot, what's inside of your skateboard. But I guess right now is a good time to explain why I'm gluing by hand. So your standard factory is going to use a glue machine. A glue machine misses a couple of the plies. They're going to miss these guys because those would wrap around inside of the machine, snap off, and they skip the faces because the glue machine gets both sides. So we want to give you full glue coverage on every side of every ply inside of your skateboard. So that's what we do. And that's why we're able to guarantee against delam. Our boards last a lot longer than most. And why our customers keep coming back. So let's see. Yep, there you go, Dylan. I feel like cardboard sometimes. Alright. Hi, Muget. So I said, what events are coming up and what are you going to be participating in? So, let's see. On August 5th, that's the Bats, Cats, and Rats tour coming to Old National Center, and I will be at that. Then there is Girls Night at Major Taylor's on August 10th. I will likely be helping judge the skate portion of that, setting up a life booth, and just hanging out. The Columbus contest is after that. I'm going to have to double check dates on that. But I know we're donating butter bars and life boards to that one. Let's see. And then Labor Day weekend, I'm going to Cleveland. And then obviously in November we have a big contest. but I honestly don't know what my schedule's like, so not sure what else I'm making it to. All right, so we're gonna come over here now, load these into the press, and then raise up the presses. All right, so this is the big boy press here. I'll load the 6-ply in first. Another on top. We want it just barely overhanging the edge of the press so it's even on either side. It's been kind of cool as you guys watched from the very first pressing up until now. You've been watching me get used to the spacing and alignment on this new mold, which is always a learning curve. Going to line this up, and then we're going to raise these jacks up by hand. At one point, these were hooked up to air when the shop was in Muncie. We just haven't hooked air up to a compressor yet, so we're just going to do it by hand here. Hey, thanks, Jamie. Sanjay gets a shout out on all of my lives. You know why? Because he asked, and it's not hard to say your name. What's up, Matthew? Thanks for tuning in. So yeah, what you guys are going to be watching for here is glue is going to squeeze out of these plies right here. That's called squeeze out. It's satisfying, it's cool, and when I'm working with dyed veneer, it changes colors, which is even cooler. You guys have gotten me wildly efficient at this job, by the way. Thank you for that. Hi there. Aw, man, I'm not in touch with the times. Yep, this is a 6-ply and a 7-ply inside the same mold here. This is a new mold. We only put 2 in each mold, so most of the time we've got 4 decks in each press. The next press I'm going to load is 9-inch presses, and that's going to be 4 boards. Am I skating today? Honestly, I'm not sure. This heat and humidity has been killing me, and that 540 revert I did for the promo for the Mike V show. I did this weird run out where my ankle went like that. Now this flick foot hurts real bad, and I'm thinking I should probably rest it because I've got some trips and stuff coming up that I don't want to be hurt for. But we all know me, and I have a hard time resting. I have not watched Squid Games. Yeah, you're right, Steve. Probably should rest it. I've got some bigger stuff coming up here, so at most I'm going to be filming that on those really big boards just to kind of show off how easy and well they work. All right, so the next step here is going to be gluing up these 9-inch 7-plies. And hey, love you too, Christian. Thank you. Oh, so Joel, that's a great question. So Joel asked, when you put 4 decks in a press, what's the difference in the concave? So we actually, when we put 4 in a press, it's going to be 2 in each mold. We never put more than 3 in a mold because that once you put more than 3 in there, it kind of starts throwing the concave off. So that's a great question. A lot of the industry throws a lot of boards into the same mold, and the boards in the middle have less concave than the boards that were closer to the molds themselves, which is wild to think about, but that's why we only press 2 to 3 boards inside of each mold. But the concave is going to be exactly the same on all 4 boards. That's a great question, man. Thank you, Diana. I think there's not much of a difference between the single, double, and triple. I mean, the concave from the top and bottom board creates the concave for the center board, so there's not much lost at all. It's when you start building concave off of a board that the concave was made from another board being pressed, where you start getting into 4 or 5 boards in there. I don't know. You can answer. My uncle wants to put bug spray on hamburgers. What do you think about that? I think it's stupid, but I don't know that. Jeremy, I know that was it's probably a troll question, and you might be a bot, but that's a very important question, and maybe you shouldn't do that. It might taste good, but bug spray on hamburgers sounds like a bad idea. Of course, Steve. Ashker, you're gonna have to explain to me what that means. I'm sorry. I'm out of touch. What's my favorite board? The Casper signature board from Life Skateboards, the one that I designed. Explain it to me. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do here is we're going to be pressing these 9-inch 7-ply boards here, and I'm going to explain to you what's inside of your skateboard. So. Oh, I do go to my Instagram. That's how I do transitions. I didn't know there was a name for the way I do transitions. So you got 7 plies of maple in your standard skateboard. Because we do everything in house here, we can do 6 or 8 ply. And if you go to the website, you can choose that on your own. But if you get a 7 ply, this is what's going to be inside of your skateboard. So there's 3 different types of veneer in here. You've got a face, which is a vertical grain with no blemishes on it. A core, vertical grain that can have some blemishes on it. And a crossband, which is a horizontal grain that gives it strength in the other direction. So inside of your skateboard, you're going to have a face, a core, crossband, center core, crossband, core, and a face. So now you know what's inside of your skateboard. Those crossbands, like I said, it gives it strength in every direction. You're putting grains that way and then grains that way. Deep concave gives you end-to-end strength. So yeah, we just got really strong boards here. I'm going to get to gluing them. Dylan asked, will we ever consider making them thin with carbon fiber? No. There are some makers that do that. We're real damn good at the all-wood construction. So we're going to stick with what we're good at. You can get 6-ply boards from us. Me personally, I don't like the flex of the carbon fiber boards, and I know that some people enjoy that and use it. So that's where it becomes a preference. If you're looking for an all-wood construction board, it's the best thing you can get. It's going to be a Life Skateboard. What's my favorite board? The Life Skateboard's Casper signature. We're going to be finishing up shaping one of those for myself and doing the graphic later on in this live. I'm really sorry, B. That stinks. Ha! I didn't even mean to do that. I'm pretty proud of that. Thank you. Casper's Keeper went ahead and put my Instagram in the chat there. Can I do a backsmith? I'm actually really bad at backsmiths. Great question. However, call it a Monty grind for me, Sam G. You're going to lose your shout-out privileges if you don't call backsmiths Monty grinds, I swear. I'm going to stop shouting you out, Sam G. We don't talk about politics on this Instagram. We are here to make skateboards and discuss skateboards. I'm here to help you with sobriety, talk to you about making your day better, anything else. But I'm not going to get into a political discussion on here, and any further encouragement will be removed. Thank you. Switch flip, switch heel. Switch heels. I am like, when I try to switch flip, the board just like smacks the ground, and it's kind of flipping, but it sucks. I waited like 15 years of my skate career to decide to try to do a flip, switch anything. And for some reason, switch heels are just make more sense to me. I don't know why. Thanks, Alan. All right, once again, anyone that feels the need to make political statements in the chat will be removed. Thank you very much. Now here's a great question. Have you ever skated in Palestine? No, I have not. There is the Gaza skate team though. Those guys are rad. I really enjoy what they're doing. Proving that skateboarding doesn't matter really what's going on. Skateboarding always survives. It creates a great sense of community in any situation, and it creates a great positive outlet for everyone involved. And that's as much as I'm going to talk about that. Hopefully you can derive what you need to from that. Skate or die. I'm from Indiana, man. Right here, born and raised in Indianapolis. I now live in Lawrence, which is a municipality of Indianapolis, right next to the skate park that I take care of quite a bit, at Lawrence Park. The shop itself is in New Palestine, Indiana. Ironic, considering what you guys want me to talk about. What's the hardest chicken ever done on a skateboard? With only. So Dylan asked, can you make a board with only colored plies? Unfortunately, we can't. That's because the crossbands, those horizontal grain plies, those do not come dyed. So the best we can do is get your first, second, fifth, sixth. Oh, dang. First, second, fourth, sixth, and seventh plies colored, and we have done that, and it looks pretty cool, especially if you get wheel wells on your board. Then it looks really cool. All right, I'm gonna swing you guys around this way. Hey, thanks, Spence. Hardest trick you've ever done on a skateboard? Probably, I did a Miller flip finger flip a few weeks ago that I'm still kind of shaking from landing. That felt pretty awesome. I kickflipped frontside air to the hip at the Lagoon in Cleveland. And probably those are probably my biggest pulls. I kickflipped hung up into the Hell's Ditch Gap. That was pretty hard too. I'd rather you guys do you guys can do your thing, but let's transition or street. I like transition a lot now. I used to only skate street. But when I skate street now, it's either for a video or just therapeutic, because that's why you don't see a lot of it. How about we spam the chat with something creative, guys, or something productive? Why don't you spam the chat with where you're from? Hey, Casper's Keeper, why don't you go ahead and kick Ashgar from my chat for me? I'd greatly appreciate that. Thank you. Everybody spam where you're from. I'd rather have that. Constructive stuff, guys. Wow, that's a lot of different names there. That's really cool. You're from Casper? I don't know who makes. Somebody said, "Do you like the brand Termite?" I don't know. If you're saying brand, that means that they don't have any control over their production. So probably don't have good opinions of them unless it's not a factory board. I have no clue. So you're gonna have to educate me on it. But here's my blanket opinion: factory all wood construction boards are corner cutting pieces of crap that the industry has been able to push out for a long time because customers in the skateboarding industry have learned to accept that the product doesn't last very long, and that's not cool. Yes, someone said, what are you doing right now? Yes, I'm putting together a 7-ply 9-inch standard board. Once 4 of these are glued up, we're going to throw them in the press, raise up that press, cover up the glue over here, and then we are going to go ahead and go in the other room, shape a customer board, clock out, shape my board, and apply my own graphic. Do I like element boards? No, element sucks. That would be DSM, correct? That would be a split off of Dwindle, correct? Which sucks. So, there's my opinion. Hey, if they were making boards in the 90s and they were doing it right, that's the difference. So there you go. Use the same wood as sellouts? I don't believe so. They're getting their wood from who? Ryan Taylor over at Drifter, or what? We get ours from Marwood. I've seen sellout boards. Now I'm curious on who makes those. No, Baker's once blanket statement here, guys. Factory boards. Factory boards. And until you've put your feet on a craft board, whether that be a life board, C-Rat, Last Arrow, just a all wood construction board that's actually made to last, then you'll understand the difference. I didn't understand the difference until I put my feet on one. I think it was 5 years ago. I was working in a skate shop. I was pretty heavy-footed, so I was going through a deck a week. I thought that was pretty normal. My pay for one day in the skate shop was a deck anyway, so I was fine with that, and I just kind of accepted it. And then I got a hold of one of these life boards while I was working in the shop, and it lasted me a month when everything else was lasting me a week. And I know that doesn't sound very long, but at the time I was skating multiple times a day, really heavy, learning tricks down stuff, really heavy-footed. But I mean, I fell in love with them, and now I make them. So I see. Sell out our factory boards. About how many away it's worth. Oh, I see you guys are discussing where you're getting boards. Yeah, I mean, it's the same maple, I guess. What I say is where this maple comes from, I say Great Lakes. A lot of people like to say Canadian maple, but some of it does come from the Upper Peninsula. So originally, I guess the wood would probably be from the same area. It's the difference in the process that makes our boards different. And that's between hand gluing, long press and cure times, no stress graphic application processes, stuff like that. I hope that cleared that up. Oh, awesome. Finding skate parts. Sanji is my biggest fan. Thanks, Sanji. I appreciate you. How long did it take you to find the right custom shape for you? It took two attempts at it. So I was skating the Stinger from Life Skateboards. That was a 9-inch that kind of cuts in right in front of the back truck beds. And I took that board, placed it on a piece of paper, traced it out, and then stood on the tracing and moved my feet for everything I do, cut off what I didn't use. The first board had a weak spot on the nose, so we beefed that up, and that's how I ended up with the shape that I like. I like the curves on it for wraps tricks, front foot impossible, my toe fits right into the curve. For grabs, it feels really ergonomic. I like how funky it looks while it's flipping too. That's just a fun part of it. Where are we located? We are located in Palestine, Indiana. That's 20 minutes east of Indianapolis. You can usually find me at most of the parks around Indianapolis, Lawrence Park usually. Major Taylors, Q Skate Park, stuff like that. You got a skateboard in 1985, they were super dangerous. Well, I got news for you. They didn't get any less dangerous. I promise. In fact, we probably got more dangerous with the way that we're doing things these days. I mean, but it just kind of comes with the territory. You're gonna get hurt. My right leg is held together by a pin plate and screw. Alright. Get a little bit more glue here. And then we've just got one more to glue up. Load up the press, raise it up, and we'll go from there. $1965. Okay. Well then, like, that would have been like these guys, right? With the trucks and bearings all being one thing. That would have been like that, right? Just kidding. That one's from 1979. $1965. I see. Does the glue get you high? No, not at all. This is Type Bond 2. Interesting little pivot point there. We don't get high here. We don't get drunk. This is a sober company. 1975. Is that when that board's from? Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. Reading the chat is kind of like driving down the road for me. I just kind of read things out loud. I don't know if I'm going to respond to it or not. You never know. Alrighty. One more to glue up here, and we are done gluing today. Who's my favorite skater? That's a great question. I really like Clay Kreiner. As far as like all time, and like personally, probably Bam Margera is up there. Just meeting him personally recently. Really like his sobriety journey and everything, his contributions to everything. Wait, who said? Oh no, Draco. That is not. That was not an offensive response. I promise. I'm not offended. But it does not get us high enough. There's no fumes on this stuff. It honestly doesn't even smell like anything, which is odd. Or maybe I just can't smell it anymore. You have a fingerboard. Yeah, there's one right here. Actually, I don't fingerboard, but there is a fingerboard of my signature shape. Right here. That's my signature shape in a fingerboard version. If you'd like one of those, just go to Robotop on Instagram. There's a kid in the UK that makes those by hand. Really cool. Can you do a trick? You can go to my page and check out tricks. My left ankle is not feeling good today, so we're going to stay off the board for today. But you can go to my page and check out tricks if you'd like. I post lots of edits over there. Hey, you tuned in at the right time, man. I'm just about done gluing, and I'm going to hop in the next room and shape a couple boards in a minute here. The nostalgia for shorties is crazy, but it depends on who makes them. So remember, guys, whenever you're asking me about what do I think about brands, don't ask me about the brand, ask me about what wood shop they use. Because I don't care about the guy that picked the pretty picture for another person to put it on there. I care about the guy that actually made the skateboard. That's the thing that matters. Once again, we're listing off brands, not board manufacturers. That's the difference there. How many do you make a day? Depends on the orders. Like today, I'm only throwing 6 in there. That's just because we're catching up uncuts, and I'll show you in a second here what I mean by that. We've got a stack of curing uncuts right over here, so I can look at that stack, kind of see what we have on hand, and see what I need to press every time I come in. Some days are long days, some days are short days. I wish they were all long days, I'll be honest with you. And you can always help us have longer days ordering one of these boards from us. We are based out of Indiana. Always have been. Sam pressed his first board in 2012, but he had his first shop here in the early 2000s. New Palestine, Indiana. Can you speak Afrikaans? No, I cannot, unfortunately. I am not fluent in Spanish. That's a good way to explain how not bilingual I am. I can understand a little bit, but I'm pretty ignorant to multiple languages, and I'm wildly impressed with other people that can do that. If English isn't your first language and you're in here talking to me on the chat, that's awesome, and I'm proud of you. And you're better than me. So we're going to move you guys over this way. How much is each deck? So the prices are different based on the shapes. And while I'm walking over here, I'll show you a bunch of shapes. Here's all the shapes. Yeah, there's a lot. So if you go on the website, you'll check prices. Popsicles are $70, and then the shapes go up from there. So next we're going to be loading up this press. I can't read it either. Yeah, you have to make bulk orders, and then we pick it up ourselves on veneer. All right, we're going to load this press up here with 4 boards, 2 in each mold. And make sure the alignment is dead on the bottom, so that will not slide around on us. A little bit different than the monster press we just loaded. This one's just inside of the mold where we're lining it up here. There's 2. These plastic pieces just separate the board from the press and the boards from each other. The bottom one catches glue so it doesn't fill up the edges of the press. Alright, throw the center of the mold in. So this is the exact same concave on the bottom and top. We do offer a mellow concave for this size, and that is on our website. The mold for that is actually right behind me here. We just slide that in the press behind me and get it going for you. Alright, that's pretty lined up there. One more. Alright, put this top separator in there and grab my sticks, and we will raise this up. And you're going to see a lot more squeeze out come out of this one compared to the monster press. I have not been paying attention to the chat at all. How are longboards made? Same exact way. We've got a press right over there for longboards. we're just pretty well stocked up on our uncuts for those right now. Did you skate in South Africa before? I have never skated in South Africa. I have never been able to leave the United States. There's a little tidbit fact for you. Flexible bamboo ones would be made probably the same way, I'd say, just pressed with different wood. I'm not really entirely sure. We do make longboards here. That's a good question. I would assume they get pressed the same way with bamboo. Are they multiple plies in there? What's the process of making it? This. What do you mean? I'm very confused. Process of making what? Threads? I'm a little confused. Thank you for the compliment, though. I'm just now seeing that. Appreciate you. Yeah, that would probably be it then. I mean, we do have some bamboo. We just don't play with it. My boss is a woodworker by trade, so we got all kinds of stuff. What's up, Zaid? Thanks, Kai. The friendly ghost. Yep, that's me. Sometimes. Most of the time I'm friendly. That is correct. Someone said, what are you doing right now? So these are 20-ton jacks down here. They at one point were hooked up to air, but we moved the shop and we haven't changed that yet. So right now you're going to start seeing glue squeeze out the sides of the plies. Is it hard to press? Not really, no. So once you get near the end here, it starts getting some resistance. And I usually go until it can hold my weight. When it's hooked up to air, I just time out the clips. But as you're seeing here, that's excess glue squeezing out of there. Thanks, Zaid. What do I think of shark wheels? I think they're pretty neat. They're cool for off-road. That Icelandic Iceman that rides for them is really cool. All right. So there's your squeeze out. Look at that. And if there's colored veneer in there, it takes on the color of the dye. And the glue that seeps out is colored. That's why you see those little pretty drips on there all over the place. Whew. So next step here, to conserve glue and make sure we don't waste anything, we wrap up the roller every day. Wrap up the glue tray here. Throw a cover on the glue tray. Push it back in the corner and we got a roller. Alright. My hands are super sweaty inside of those gloves. Alright, now we're going to move on to the next room. A little bit ago I told you I'm going to show you where the layups are. So this is where the curing uncuts go. So this is what I check to see what needs to be pressed in the mornings. People just call me Casper. Ah, there we go. Matthew Gonzalez said, what all different shapes do you offer? Great timing for that question. So if you go over to the website, that's lifeskateboard.com, you'll see over 77 shapes listed on the website. I used to work in restaurants, that's why my cleanup's like that. You'll see over 77 shapes on there. You can go to the Life Skateboards Instagram, and you will find, I think there's 5 new shapes that have been released. They're gigantic. Here's the templates for them. Look at that, gigantic. Do we paint it? We actually have a really interesting graphic application process here at Life Skateboards. So we apply all of our graphics with hand carved lino blocks. Some of these boards are going to be natural bottoms, some of them are going to be color bottoms. So like here's one that's ready for graphics. So this is a color top, color bottom. This is just the color of the wood, the way it came. But we can roll the ink across the entire deck and then we apply the graphic with lino blocks. Mystic said, you got weed in your pocket. Number one, I don't smoke. The only thing in my pocket today is a hair tie that I'm going to use right now so I don't die while I'm working. Bigger guy, would you suggest a board? Yep, go to our website, get the 8-ply option. So most boards come with a standard 7, but you can get an 8-ply and that thing is a tank. And then when you set up your complete, I would highly suggest swapping out your bushings with Bones hard bushings. If you're a bit heavier, that's going to make the turning a little bit more normal on your trucks. No matter what trucks you have, some Bones hard bushings are going to be great. Hey, Sean, that's really mean. Yeah, well, hey, you know what? We're going to just put you in timeout so you can watch, and we're going to have a talk with you, buddy. Put user in timeout for 24 hours. There we go. So first of all, we're not going to talk about what other people weigh, especially while they're trying to come into skateboarding and you're sitting on your ass watching my live. The other question you asked is, what's the hardest drug I've tried? Because you think that's going to be offensive. I'm actually an addict in recovery, so you name it, I've probably tried it. And I'm here to help you get away from those things if that's what you want to do. Because I'm here and I'm alive because other people reached out and helped me. So that's what I'm here for. And that's how you treat people that try to be negative. Use it as a positive. And now we're here. Hey, give it a shot for sure. I will say there's going to be a ton of trial and error with it. And my one bit to say whenever you're trying to get this done is try to look at the industry and find what's missing. But find what's missing, like if they're cutting corners on graphic application, a specific shape, just the way you're doing things. Always push better for what the industry is doing, and you're gonna do fine. Just expect a ton of trial and error. Do you know Force Wheels? No. Do I know Revive? Sure do. Killer Shop, like Killer Skate Shop, because they're rad. But thank you, I appreciate that. Hey, thank you, Kai. I'm 6 years in recovery. 6 years clean from booze and 4 years from everything else. The company's actually called Life Skateboards because skateboarding and sobriety gave my boss a new life. So, love that. Mahogany wood looks nice. Yes, mahogany is also not as flexible and a little bit heavy. No, I'm just his little brother. But all right, we're gonna go ahead and get to this. So today I'm gonna be shaping this one. Sam cuts out the shapes every day, so I'm going to explain that for you. All right, he cuts out the shapes that I shape. So he takes one of those uncuts from the other rim, applies truck holes onto it like this, and then he attaches the template to that uncut. And then he cuts that out right here, runs the template along here, and then we end up with this. And this is when I get a hold of the board. So you see the edge right here was cut on that router, so it's not at a 90 to the concave. And if you bring it over to here like that, it's not going to round off the board perfectly. So the first step we do is clean up that edge and bring it to a 90 on this right here. What do we call a regular deck? A popsicle. Boring. There you go. So I've actually had my hair pulled into the machines here, so I always put my hair back whenever I'm working. Hey, thank you, get some. Oh, I appreciate that. Of course, Matthew. Yeah, I mean, the story of it's even scarier. So it was actually that machine right there. It was when our shop was in Muncie, Indiana, and I was the only one there super late at night. And my hair got caught in it to where it pulled me underneath it, so I couldn't reach anything. It sucked. Well, we'll see. How about this? I'm not going to say a word until I get to the orbital. You guys find out how long it takes me to shape this board. Talk about your favorite skateboarding trick in the comments. How about that?
thing over here has an air bladder. So I'm going to go grab the compressor hose, air that up, and I'll be right back. Alrighty. Whew.
And we're on to the last step there. Sorry about not answering questions. Where do you buy one? Life Skate. Oh, thank you, Casper Skater, for answering all that. So, how long does it take to make a board from start to finish? Was what I was asked before I started that. So, 24 hours in the press, 7 days curing time, and then you just watched all of the shaping steps, and then cutting it out is obviously a few more minutes. Hey, thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate you. So this is the last step here. This is just orbital sanding and getting the board ready for graphics. This step takes a little bit longer if there's any excess glue on it. If there is on this one. Once I'm done with this board, I'll be able to take my time on the next board, walk you through each of the steps as they happen. And then we're going to go to the next building over there, and we're going to apply graphics to my board. And then I get to go home and play with my dog and eat my little one. This is lifeskateboard.com, or Life Skateboard. You go to lifeskateboard.com, you can check us out. I don't know why it's just .com on the company name. Maybe it's because you're definitely going to go to the website, right? Right, guys? If you're curious why I'm not wearing a respirator on this step, that would be because of the vacuum attached to it. Oh, where is the shop, guys? I'm just really bad at reading. Thanks, guys, for the keepers. New Palestine, Indiana, just 20 minutes east of Indianapolis. The shop was originally in Muncie, Indiana, but we moved the last couple of years. Something you're enjoying watching, feel free to share it for me. Don't forget to like it, subscribe, all that fun stuff to get this out there to the right audience. Great Lakes maple. It's the same for all the boards, but if you scroll back into the live a little bit to when I was actually pressing, you can see the difference in the veneers, and that's just going to be crossbands, faces, and core. How long have I been doing this? I've been doing this for probably 3 to 4 years now. My boss has been making boards since 2012, and he had a skate shop in the early 2000s. Welcome back, Shredded Vibes. Have a favorite deceased musician? Yes. Can you see that? And if you don't know what that is, that's my answer. There you go. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, that was probably it. This one's big. We got here. This one sits at 10.5 inches wide. We're worried about boards and nothing else. No, sir. That was Kurt Cobain's seahorse drawing from his notebook. Male seahorse turns into That was a strong opinion. Surfboard making is really cool. Surfboard making is really cool. We just don't do that here. That's not something we've got the capability to do. We're also in Indiana, so it really wouldn't make much sense. But I think surfboarding is really cool. What's the next step after this? It's gonna be graphics, but somebody said they want to see my setup, and I'm not doing a time restrictive thing, so it's not in that trunk, is it? There she is. There's a reason that you guys are going to be watching me shape and do a graphic on my own board. That's because I need a new one. But here's my setup right now. We got Ace 55 Classics, Speed Lab, Jeremy Green wheels, Superfly Speedball bearings, Lil Jon's rails, and my signature shape from Life Skateboards with decal grip tape. Thanks, Gran. We're gonna leave that here. That's right there. It's not too thick, actually. So that's actually a great statement, Cran. So the reason these boards look so thick is because the concave is so good. So that edge you're seeing on there is my rail. But let me show you a board from the side that has really good concave. It makes them look really thick. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm all right, Lost Kid. How are you? See, it's not really that thick of a board, but when you look at it from this side, it sure looks like it. That's only 7 plies of maple thick. It's just got really good concave. So we're gonna finish going on the orbital with this one, and then we're gonna shape my board and apply graphics, which is gonna be fun. Once again, some of these boards just take a little bit longer, just because of the excess glue on them. That's my fault, so I can only blame myself for that. And we finished these at the 150. It's amazing, isn't it? It's just the curvature of the board, the difference in the grain direction, it makes everything work. I am the only employee, Cran. The owner is Sam Cook. Sam cuts out the shapes, makes all the templates, applies the majority of the graphics. He doesn't like being on camera, and he just got out of surgery on Monday. Hopefully that means he'll be back on a board with me soon. But Sam has been skating for a very long time. Had a skate shop in the early 2000s, started this company in 2012. I'm just the only employee. I don't know. I'm afraid to answer that because if I say something that's not DreamWorks, I'm going to get people yelling at me. East Coast is a little different. Casper Jones is a pretty good singer too. Oh no! Was Ants DreamWorks? Was it Bugs Life DreamWorks? Which one was DreamWorks? I'm gonna answer with that. There we go. Nobody yell at me. No, I don't think I have watched that. I'll have to check it out. What streaming service is that on, Ronnie? I'm switching to a heavier grit here. Get some thicker glue off of here and then bounce back to my 150. it's taking a little bit longer than normal. We don't put on the black tape unless you ask us to. So that's called grip tape. It's either an abrasive or non-abrasive material. We sell it to you, you put it on there, or you can have us put it on there, but a lot of people like to. Did I grow up in New Pal? No, I did not. I grew up in Indianapolis. I do not live in New Pal. I live in Indiana. Not much, bud. How are you doing? Thanks for hopping in here. Taking significantly longer due to the extra board. Threaded vibes, I'm a little confused. So when you buy a skateboard, you generally are replacing the deck. The majority of the time you already have your trucks and wheels and bearings. If you want to complete from us, that's on the website as well. You get whatever you order from us. So that would mean a lot of people like to do their own grip design on their grip tape, and me personally, I didn't really want someone else gripping my own board. So that's where we generally send it for like that. The site is lifeskateboard.com. Thank you. Well, that would be weird, because if you're talking about me explicit, we don't just make 10-inch boards. We make 7.5, 7.75, 8, 8.125, 8.25, 8.5, 8.75, 9, 9.5, hold on, 10, 11, 11.5, 12, 13, 13.2, 14, we make them all. I gotcha. No, I know you were joking. I use your guys' comments as jumping off points. So then, because otherwise it's just shamelessly self-promoting. Thank you, I appreciate it. His barbed wire thing up there is pretty cool. Thank you, Explicit. Once again, thanks for jumping off of there. When you order one, do you customize the design on the back? No. Once again, we use lino blocks. If you don't know what those are, I'm going to show you in a little bit here. Those are hand-carved relief images. So that means that we commissioned an artist to carve the opposite of an image, so the mirror image, into linoleum, and then we roll the ink on there and slap it on like a stamp. You'll see these, they're pretty beautiful. Real quick, and by this point I think I'm going to go ahead and clock out. The rest of my time is on me. Yeah, we'll do that. So let me show you guys some finished boards here. So here's a popsicle with the knife graphic. As you can see, we can roll different colored inks on there. This one's a funky one. This is called the 8-bit football. Bailgun Gary had us make this one. Funky board. This is definitely one off, or no, this is a fat punk point here, but it shows off another one of our graphics. Let's see here. We got the bruised heel graphic, green and black on green. This is a Josh Garrels collab. It's a twin football with the praying hands graphic on it. This is a Youth Twin 6-ply with the Dewey twin graphic on there. I hate how the glare is on this phone. Sorry about that. Let's see. Can't see this one too well. But this is a sturgeon. Yeah, I'll show you a different one of those. Let's see here. There we go. There's a sturgeon. So this is the sturgeon. Really beautiful fish. This is the Stinger with the dovetailed snake graphic on it. Absolutely beautiful. I actually have that graphic tattooed on my hand. Here's another dovetailed snake. And these are called wheel wells. This is where you can see those colored plies inside your board. I think that's beautiful. And one last one here. This was one, this looks like it was someone's rider. It was. This is the Fife Life graphic, originally from Fickle Skateboards. We've got the Fickle presses. So we changed that graphic up a little bit, kept the asterisk from Fickle in the graphic, and made it our own. Lou Ross now rides for us. Great person, great board maker, and all around just great dude. All right, I'm gonna catch up on questions and we'll be right back. What's up here? It is a dream job. How long have you been making boards? 4 years, and then my boss has been doing it since 2012. My favorite go-to board is the one I designed. So that would be the Casper Signature. I will say though, the Mega Twin, which is MEGGA Twin, is going to be really fun. Those are awesome. Thank you. So these are templates up here on the wall. What you're going to be watching me do right now is finish up sanding this board here, and then we're going to shape my signature shape, apply graphics, and then I'm going to go home. Yep, the company is Life Skateboards. You're a 44-year-old mom that still shreds. That's awesome. I bet your kids think they're cool. I bet that's awesome. How long is the whole process start to finish? So the boards are under pressure for 24 hours. They cure for 7 days and then they're cut out. That process can take not long at all, 20-30 minutes, get everything done. And then it's graphic application. You got to wait for the ink to dry, then the clear coat, dry that, and then it's good to go. So we have a turnaround time of 2 to 3 weeks maximum, just in case we have to press something really specific for you and something happens, like there's a split, a warp, or something that we just wouldn't give to you, you know what I mean? Because we're going to stand behind quality, and we're going to make sure you get the best product you can. So if there's an issue, we want to make sure we handle it. We usually beat that deadline, but we just keep it open for that just in case we got to go back and press something new for you. But not too long. If everything goes right, it can be done in 8 days start to finish. Exactly, yeah. That's why, like, this guarantee gets delammed. If a board delams, we replace it. If there's a break that's clearly our fault, we replace it. Blemished boards are the ones that I skate. So those are ones that have like splits, a little bit of, let's see. This is a blem for some reason. Yeah, there's a slight warp on this one. So that's why I'm gonna skate this one, because it's not gonna go to a customer. That way we don't waste anything. Thank you, Austin. That's a surprise. So many people are used to being able to just go grab a board that's already been made and sit there. That's a refreshing statement. I appreciate it. It's not every day, but it happens. You know. We have ways to use them, splits, everything else. But it's pretty easy to prevent that from happening. Like let's say if there's a crossband that has a split in it, I'm going to tape the ends of that. If there's a face ply that has a split in it, I'm going to just not use that as a face ply and put it inside. But if it happens, it happens. Wood is wood. you scroll back in the live, you'll be able to see my my complete that I pulled out of the car a little bit ago. Got some really stubborn glue on this board. I'm sorry, guys. This is one of those problems I'm running into. How do I don't... Have you ever rode anything that wasn't factory made razors? And you're never too fat to ride, I promise. You can get an 8-ply board, you can get yourself some, Bones hard or extra hard bushings, and you can make it. Thank you, G. You just made me stutter with that compliment. Ah! We got somebody doesn't realize how cool they really are there. Hold on. I just sold that to my boss. You can do it, Ryan. Promise. Peer pressure, peer pressure, peer pressure. Get out and skateboard. That's an original. Do I ride my coffin board? I don't think so. Right, yeah, that's not the Madrid one. That's awesome, ESP. Oh, my board? Yeah. Thank you. That makes me feel... Hey, thank you, guys. This is what I love. One thing I love about skateboarding is just, like, look how positive and supportive this chat is. Somebody just said I'm too heavy to skate, and you've got random strangers around the world telling you to get a board. I love it. Thank you. If you didn't know, I'm an ambassador for a non-profit called Skate Park Respect. We have a goal of cleaning skate parks, community action. Using that work to leverage it and make better, bigger parks. That one? That better? Sorry. happy? I try to. I just put the people I don't make happy in time out. That's what I love about this. I love a bite of your burger, man. You just like toss it this way. I don't know where you're at, but if you just give it a good huck, I might have lunch today. I'm waiting. Alright, so judging by the wind, the moon, and the stars, I don't think it's making it this time. Skateboard. Skateboard. Alright, we got this, man. I'll try. I'm not good at catching stuff, though, so expect me to drop it. I don't do the sports, I just play skateboards. I say that, but... Alright, well that's the end of my, timed work. Now we're just doing my work. So let me screenshot so I can clock out at this time later. There we go. Now we can just take my time. What kind of wood? This is, I say Great Lakes hard maple, because some of it comes from Upper Peninsula, not Canada. Hey SDM, I hope you're doing okay. LS swap one of these boards. I'm about as mechanically inclined as a brick. So, I genuinely don't know what SD music is trying to say right now. I sure hope your day gets a little better, buddy. Have a good day. I don't know who upset you, man. I don't see anyone arguing with you in the chat. From Kenya? That's awesome. I love how people all over the world are in here. I was trying to be there for him. Yeah, we need a turbo in. Just slap a turbo in that thing. That's my car knowledge has to do with things I needed to repair and movies. All right. So, as I said before, some of these boards take longer because of extra glue that's someone's fault. Fine. When it's a customer board, obviously we get all that crap off of there. But yeah, I'm not even gonna put them in timeout. You know what? You guys handle that one. You guys got it. All right. So yeah, I don't have to get this one as clean because this one's mine. Hey, John Doe. So we're gonna kind of go quickly through this one. You'll see why it's a little bit more labor intensive, and we'll get there. SD, if this is you practicing talking to people, keep it up. You're kind of getting close to a conversation. Maybe try addressing the same people that are addressing you so that people know who you're talking to. Try to think of a coherent thought before you type everything out, and you'll do better. I'll get back to you here in a minute, and I hope that you've worked on your sentence structure a little bit. Good luck.
it still going? He's still going? Oh my god, guys, get him. That's so funny. Like, buddy, this is I'm not even gonna read it, but I'm just, like, if you spend your time on just some random person's page being negative, I don't know who you are, like, you have the option to go, like, scroll and go enjoy yourself, unless, like, this is just you letting out anger, and if that's it, that's it. But I'm gonna make skateboards. You should be happy. Skateboards. It's a toy. We're making toys here, buddy. This is a toy making factory. Not even a factory. This is just a toy making manufacturer. Look at this toy. It's so fun. It's okay, buddy. Be happy. It's okay. Checking in one more time before the orbital. Is he still there? Oh my goodness. This is just sad, man. I hope your day gets better, SD Music. Maybe go make some music or something. Like, do that thing. Good luck. All right, chat. Does he get the boot from the chat? Dolphin flip it. I'll try.
want to catch up here for a second. Hey, SD Music, didn't like a little bit ago you said, I bet I have more money than you do. So that's kind of silly, and I think you've lost your chance. Bye-bye, buddy. I hope you have a better day. I hope that the world treats you a little bit better than you treat it. And maybe, just maybe, your life will get a little bit better and a little bit happier. And maybe you'll treat other people around you better. That's usually what happens. Because if you're suffering inside, that's usually why you're treating people poorly on the outside. And a lot of people go on the internet and run over there as a place to like let out that type of behavior. And that is what it is. But just remember, some of us are real people here, acting like ourselves. I'm just at work. So it's not my problem. Making skateboards. Yeah, no, and let's be real honest here, guys. I'm poor as shit. The reason that I'm on here on YouTube is that one day this will be another stream of income for me, and I won't be struggling. So, there you go. Yeah, lording money over a poor person that knows they're poor is pretty silly, because I don't care. Welcome to skateboarding. Question mark shaped grip? No, actually I'm waiting on a package of DKL grip tape to come in before I can even shape this. Before I can even grip this. Today I'm just applying graphics. Hey, that's funny. That sounds fun, driver. That honestly sounds really fun. You said hydro dipped? No, we don't. Wooden skateboards don't make it. I've seen some hydro dipped skateboards, but so this one is actually going to get my signature graphic and then a graphic that has my dog on it. That's what I've been doing on all my boards recently. But I'm going to roll the background on it, double print it, make it look pretty fun. We'll see. I'll let you guys be the judge. This is for me, not a customer. And sorry I kind of let that go on for a little bit there. When I get weirdos on my chat, I always try to kind of give them a chance to turn around. You guys are speaking another language to me again. So that wasn't a coffin. That was actually this board right here. We actually do have a coffin right here. You guys are having great conversations here. Aaron said, what grit? The finishing grit is a 150. Sometimes I bump it down to get the heavier stuff off of there and then hit it again. Yes, I skateboard. I play skateboard. I make skateboards. I play skateboard. You guys should probably want to be watching the thing I'm doing. My ankle's a little bit wonky on me right now, so I'm giving it a rest for a couple days. Then I'll be back to skating. It's a cool chat. Here's the secret, guys. You ready for this? Ready? This goes to a vacuum. I know the concern always comes whenever I take my mask off for this one, but this one's hooked up to the Festool vacuum. Yeah, you're right. It's lies. I'm just sitting here huffing skateboards. We always get one extra skateboard out of my lungs a day. I cough a little bit, and then I just, and there's a skateboard, and that's how it happens. You guys just probably, I'm gonna have to make a fun video like that sometime soon. This board shape is called the Casper Signature. I'm 80% skateboard. That was a Bender reference, right? Skateboard lung cookie. Real estate. You know it, man. I go home and I cough out a whole skateboard when I get home. Don't tell Sam. Don't tell Sam. You know what I just realized, guys? No, never mind. Never mind. I have myself praised. You know it. It's the only one I designed. Alrighty, so now this one's ready for graphics. Nope, that's actually, Aaron, I missed something where you said that earlier. You were talking about using a torch to get graphics on here. So heat is what weakens the bond between the maple and the glue on here. And while this is really pretty, we want to make sure that it's as functional as possible. So strength is the most important thing. That's why we actually don't apply our graphics with a heat transfer. We use a lino block. And I'm about to show you guys that in just a second here. Heat transfers are a 200-degree roller that most of your boards are made with. Somebody said, dude, where's your respirator? We've been over this, KJ. Festool does it right. I wear a respirator for everything else, don't worry. Promise. We got to walk over to the studio here. Thank you for the concern, though, KJ. I do kind of hide that vacuum under the edge there. I promise. Alrighty, let me grab my keys. You guys are on a tripod. Looks like we got enough battery to make this work. Yeah, you're okay. Yeah, the running truth here is that I secretly am breathing in skateboards so that when I get home, I can cough up another skateboard, and then I get a free skateboard that day. It's almost that would make a lot of sense if I didn't get skateboards for riding for the team. There's actually a board up there waiting for me, but I'm waiting on grip for it. Oh yeah, I'm an addict in recovery, and I guess the only thing that goes up my nose anymore is sawdust. Ha! That wasn't a good joke. I'm sorry, guys. It's organic. Organic, so some of this veneer has died, so probably not the best. Probably not the best for me. All right, so we are going over to the printing and shipping studio where we apply all of our graphics, prepare all the orders, get them ready to ship, and clear coat them. And I already prepped the room for it. So here we are in our printing and shipping studio. So, like I said, thank you. So this is what I meant when I said a lino block. It's a relief image. This is my dog Lori. We found her abandoned at LP Skate Park. We took her in. This is the 8 stair at our local park. This is my signature graphic right here. It was originally a painting or drawing done by Ben Blakely that had a skeleton ripping out of a scarecrow's throat. I asked him if he can do Casper the Ghost ripping out of the scarecrow's throat, and he's doing a little boneless cry there. That's a trick I haven't done in a while. But I've been thinking about how I want to do this. I'm thinking a purple to magenta fade side to side here. That's kind of new, something I haven't done before. Hey there, Curtis. There's a really cool thing about this being my face and that being your face. This is my face, and you don't have to worry about it. Thank you. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and roll the background on here, and then we're gonna use. We're gonna go ahead and use this fat roller here. Do I have another fat roller? I do not. Once again, this is new. I've not ever done this. We do the fades on the graphics themselves, but I've never done it on the background of something. So this is going to be fun. I'm going to start off with some purple. Got purple ink here, and I'm going to brighten that purple up with a little bit of pink. I feel like Bob Ross right now. A Filthy Frank song just popped in my head, and I almost sang it, and I'm pretty sure YouTube would not be happy with me if I did that. Thanks for that comparison, hippie. You made me giggle inside. I want that a little brighter. I didn't brighten it up at all. There we go. That's a nice little light purple color there. I don't know if you guys can see everything I'm doing here. So what I'm going to do next is get another pool of pink over here. I'm going to use one roller for the purple, start up here, go down to the center, and then start down from the bottom and work my way up. Now if this were a customer board, I would have to get all this excess glue off of here, but as long as it's smooth and it's getting covered and it's my board, I'm just leaving it the way it is. Let's go ahead and use this one here, and once again we are just rolling the background right now. lately I've been just wrapping that ink around the edge. That's not something we normally do for customers because it tends to not stay very long, but I like how it looks on my boards. So we're just gonna take our time here and finish this up the way I want to. Rolling around the edge gives it that dipped look without actually having to dip the board, which is pretty cool. This is a really thick ink. Alright, so I'm going to get about a little bit over halfway there. And I am just thinking out loud here, by the way. This is kind of an experiment. Now I'm going to hop over to the pink. And why do I go with these colors? My local park is painted pink and purple. Wood does not soak up the paint. This is speedball ink, specifically for this type of application process. What you're thinking of is a die, which is how our veneers generally come, but I roll my own boards. Once again, this one's for me, not a customer. That's why I can experiment with it a bit here. I can get a little sloppy with it if I need to. It's gonna be fun. So what I'm going to do is print the graphic twice. I'm going to print it once in white and then once in black to make it pop a little bit. I'm going to overlap these a bit, and then we're going to mix these inks in the center there and work our way out. That's where it's going to get fun. Alright, so I just need a little bit more pink here. I'm going to take one of these rollers that I've been using. Move that ink closer together there, and get one of these rollers covered in both. And run it right down the middle. Nice little fade down to the bottom. All right, so there's a nice little background, nice and consistent. Wanted to give it a nice fade to the top there. Thanks for sticking with me on my experiment there, guys. So now we're going to be hopping on to actually printing the graphics. I'm shaking you guys. Hold on. Sorry. Let me see if this will work. Can you see everything from there? No. Dang it. There we go. The ground is much more stable than this table that is made out of a door. We're pretty resourceful here at Life Skateboards. All right, so next one, we're just gonna go ahead and print in white. And we're gonna use the graphics themselves. So, grab myself some white here. We're gonna start with Lori. Slap her down here. So when you're printing on the lino block, what you want to do is get the good, nice layer, little layer on the roller, and then roll it onto here thinly. You want to be quick with it so it doesn't dry on you. Give it a good thin coverage on everything, and then go back and do it again. And just keep giving it some good thin covers on there. The thicker the ink is, the more it's going to slide around on you. But if you layer it up in small layers, it'll come off nice and clean. Alright, so this is the first background print on a double print. I always try to kind of sloppy this first one up just to kind of makes that second print when it's really clean pop. So here, let me pull you over here, guys. So once again, this is the background that'll get one clean print in black over the top of it. I want to smear it a little bit so it makes that black pop. And it's going to probably pull up some of that purple, which is going to be nice and cool looking. Smear it a little bit. Alright, I'm just going to pull that off of there. Printer a little cleaner than I would have liked, to be honest with you. So I'm going to set that back down on there and let it smear a little. That's a thing you don't normally hear from a printer. It printed too clean. And this is just some extra love for my own board. There we go. That's good. Alright. So there's the first print. And we're going to print once more over that in black. But while that other one is drying up a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and roll white onto my signature graphic. So I always print my signature graphic going down and my dog going up. Kind of like a stamp. Exactly. Except really big and hand carved. Casper's Keeper is the answer of all questions that I don't see. But yes, that is a good answer. 3 to 4 years. The boss has been making boards since 2012. Wow, you guys are taking notes over here. I need to give you guys like quizzes after these lives. That's pretty cool. Taking notes. All right, let's check how well that printed, and smear it up a little bit. There we go. Wow, I am really digging this background combination here. All right, so now we're done with the white, and we are going to move on to the final print, black. Grab here. So that ink had a second to dry on this other block over here. So now I'm going to roll the lorry block in black. And we're going to get one really clean print out of it. And since we printed white with it earlier now, if I were doing a customer's board, I wait for it to dry, clean it off, move on with that. But we're just going to accept it how it is, just because we're going to be doing this on a live. It is what it is, and I will skate it. Whatever that may be. Alright. So now it's time to set this one down. So the goal is to set this almost exactly like I set the last one. Just a little bit off. Make it pop. There we go. Just a little bit off there. And then the little smear we did should outline it quite a bit. But that little offset will kind of give it a shadow. I think it turns out really cool on my signature graphic because the flannel on his shirt kind of pops out a lot more with a little bit of background pattern on there. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is starting to look great. Very happy with this one. You never know when you're doing an experiment what it's going to end up looking like. But looks like I'm going to be very happy with this one. I usually have some troubles on the edges. So like I said, this is going to be a very clean print. That's why I'm taking my time here. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and flip this around so you guys can see this pull off here. Wow. Alright, so there's that. See how it stands out because it has that offset on there? Alright, let me print the next one and I'll show you the whole board in all its glory. She's the best. Her name is Lori. She's actually she's sitting at home right now with Casper's keeper. Waiting on me to finish the work so I can come home and see her. Alright. Final step here. This one is going to look a lot cleaner because it's printed on a lighter background. But I really do like the way this one pops and kind of blends into the background. I've been doing my boards in just a straight pink lately, so this purple to pink fade, I'm digging it. Digging it a lot. I've been having an issue lately where I've been clear coating my boards way too early because I'm in a hurry to write them. So I'm going to end up leaving this board overnight, clear coating it in the morning, and pressing again on live when I come over here to set it up. Alrighty, so I'm going to set this one down. Alright, that looks like a good offset. These words on the side like to give me trouble here. So now we're just making sure everything transfers right, and we're ready for a clear coat, and then it's the end of the day. Yeah, you're right, dry time is the hardest part of the wait. That's why if I'm not here when dry time is happening, perfect. Especially when it's my board. That's when it's a problem. Because I won't rush a customer's board like worse to make quality worse, but I will rush my own board. That's for sure. I want to skate. I do have a board that's still functioning, and I probably shouldn't skate today. Should probably let this ankle rest. A little bit miss on the edge there. right, guys, you ready to see this? I'm gonna go ahead and that's as high as I can go. Yeah, that is always an option. Sand it down and start over. All right, guys. And there she is. We got Lori on the top there. Got my signature graphic on the tail. Alrighty. Well, guys, that's it for my live today. I'm going to be cleaning this stuff up, and then I'm going to head out for the day. I'm going to hop back on here tomorrow. Thank you. It really does pop, doesn't it? Thank you. I always like that double print. Oh, here you go. Sorry. You missed it. Here you go. It's right there. There and there. But tomorrow you'll see that with a clear coat on it. I'll be pressing boards again. Not as many probably. I might load up both. Who knows? I won't have anything to shape. Everybody keep your recovery thoughts with Sam, the owner. He got out of surgery the other day. He had a surgery on his leg. Hopefully that means he's going to be skating with us again. Thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. And there is a playlist on my channel called Watch This For Me. If you leave that playing, you're going to boost my watch hours. And then I'm going to be closer to being able to do like super chats and stuff like that, which is awesome. Lost Kid asked around what time. I'm going to be real honest with you. I really hope it's around like 2 o'clock, but I'm the kind of guy that just wakes up and my day kind of happens, so we never know. We never know. You guys are the bomb. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all the fun stuff. Get a life at lifeskateboard.com. You're the best. See ya.